What's going on? This is Patty from KHTS, and we are joined live with Mr. Cardon Ellis of Unipest Pest Control.
What's up,
I don't
man?
know why I'm going with the pauses, but I'm just trying to just spice it up a little bit. Cardon.
Inquire, we called that syncopation.
Syncopation.
I believe that was the correct term. When you kind of stylize the timing of how you speak or sing. I think
Yeah.
it's called syncopation.
Well, I'm with it.
It's actually artistic.
Ah.
You know what I'm saying? You weren't deficient. You were actually ornate. Shall we say.
Ooh.
Yeah.
This is the dictionary segment
Welcome
of
to
the show.
Dictionary.com hour.
With Cardon Ellis and Patty.
That's
Oh,
funny.
man. But no, that is not why I brought you in here today.
Hit me. What do you
I
got?
got
What
you.
do you got?
Dude, it is raccoons. But before I get there, just
Okay.
let me explain. So my
Okay.
friend posted this angriest rant on Facebook, and all of his news just said like completely like all of his just new sod actually was just really, really just roasted and ripped to shreds, man. I mean, he thought I was a kid like pranking him, and then like he checked his cameras, and you know what he freaking saw? A raccoon
Oh, yeah.
of all things.
Like going nuts
Yeah,
on
just-
his
On a spree.
Okay, yeah. Oh, that's okay, so all of these new inexpensive security systems have been really awesome for pest control.
Really?
Yeah. I've had people call me because like spiders have created webs over cameras and it set off motion sensors. I've had people figure out that what's going through their yard is a skunk or a possum or a raccoon because it sets off the motion sensors. And then all of a sudden it sends them alert to their phone and they can just forward it to me and they're like, oh, Cardon, I got a raccoon. Like, previously we would have to come out and set out trail cameras in order to do this. But now everybody's got their own trail cameras bolted to their house.
Right, of course.
With these Ring systems or with
The
whatever
doorbell
the Harbor
systems.
Freight or Home Depot versions are, even ADT or whatever. So anyway, this is really common actually. This is what's going on. Raccoons are super smart and they're herbivores, but they love them some grubs and snails, believe it or not.
Really, snails?
Yeah, it's gross, but as a source of protein, they love it. And they figured out that when humans plant sod, that they overwater, which brings what to the surface? A lot of worms. Because when it rains, you know how all the worms come out?
Yeah.
It brings a lot of worms and it brings a lot of grubs. So what they'll do is they'll actually come and then they'll rip up the sod. And it's like a blanket.
Yeah,
It might be lightly rooted, but they'll roll it up and then just cast it aside. And it's so frustrating. I've had people that have done like $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 landscaping jobs, putting in new grass, new sprinklers. And then within a week, raccoon comes and just shreds everything up because he's looking for those grubs. So what they do is they roll up the sod and then underneath where there's a grub, they literally just pick it out with their fingers and boom, plop it right in their mouth, just like hors d'oeuvres, dude.
Wow.
Yeah. In fact, you know where you can see this happening a lot?
Where?
Okay, radio stations on Main Street, right?
Of course, yes.
Okay, when you go down Railroad, there's Valle del Oro.
Yes.
Or Valle del Oro.
Mhm.
Okay. If you just hook a left on Valle del Oro, that whole entire street where everybody parks at night because their
Mhm.
apartment complexes up there,
Yes.
that whole entire street, like left and right, is lined with acacia bushes. And they breed snails like crazy.
Really?
And when me and my wife were first married, we lived there.
Mhm.
And every time I park my truck and walk back to my apartment, I'd see like 2 or 3 raccoons and they're brazen. I have videos of these guys. All right. They're just crawling through and they find a snail and they're smart enough where they'll take the snail and they crack it. They'll either crack it in their teeth or they'll crack it on a rock.
Oh my.
And then boom, they just suck right out of the snail shell, the snail, and boom, gulp. They love it. And they go to the next one. I would see these guys popping these things like they were those bacon wrapped jalapeno poppers at like a wedding, By the way, whoever makes those jalapeno wrapped bacon poppers, I've been to like 2 or 3 weddings in town, and it's only at weddings I've had these. There's no other restaurant that's have them, but somebody in town makes some really good bacon wrapped jalapeno poppers. All right. So the bacon wrapped jalapeno poppers of the raccoon world are the snails or the grubs.
Right.
And you'll literally see them just walking by and popping them in their mouths. It's gross to us,
Yeah.
but super tasty to them. And every night you can see it on Valle del Oro.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, now we know at least like where a hot spot is for sure in Santa
Yeah.
Clarita.
So Did he take care of it? What did he do?
He ended up just like he was monitoring it. He tried getting like little
Did
like
he just end up calling somebody or
he
what?
he hadn't gone there yet. He was trying to handle it first, like getting raccoon traps. Like he would go to like get like the animal traps
Yeah.
and try and warn them off or like like almost like scare them away. But
Okay, so
good
here's
luck with
here's the
that.
thing with raccoons is unfortunately in Santa Clarita, a lot of people have done the DIY thing where they go get the raccoon and then they think they're smart and they take it to Pico Canyon Park if they live in Stevenson Ranch, or they take it to Central Park if they live in Saugus, or they take it to the local park and they release it.
Yeah.
And they don't realize that all they've done is train the entire local population to recognize cage traps and avoid them. We have a big time trap avoidance problem in Santa Clarita because a lot of these raccoons have been trapped and then released, right?
Hmm.
So, what I tell people, if you want to do the DIY thing, you can call us for trapping, and there's definitely some tricks that we can use. And they're usually construction tricks where, like through exclusion, you're able to hide that it's a cage trap, or else you're able to force them into the cage trap. There's different ways of making it so that we can get raccoons as professionals that a lot of DIYers aren't aware of, and also don't have the time to go, to actually go through. But if you've got raccoons, especially if it's like on sod and you want to get rid of them, don't do the trapping method if you're just going to do the DIY thing, because you're just making it harder for the next person that has that raccoon.
Right.
Okay. And
'Cause they're smart.
raccoons, what people don't realize is they're miniature bears. They're the closest living relative to the North American black bear. That is their closest living relative, is the North American black bear. So
Wow.
you're dealing with a miniature bear here.
Yeah.
Okay. Except for a bear that's really smart with nearly opposable thumbs and secondary reasoning. So don't do the cage route if you're a DIYer. You can actually go to Home Depot, and there's some really good. Have a Heart makes this giant salt shaker that's got black pepper in it, garlic, cloves,
Oh, I've seen those.
capsaicin. Yeah. And if you shake that all around, it's a nasal irritant that will oftentimes irritate the raccoon. So at least it goes somewhere else and gives long enough time for your sod to root properly. And if you do that every 2 or 3 days, you should be okay. They also have some really smelly liquids that you can spray. If you've got a little Hudson sprayer, if you've got some kind of even $8.99 sprayer from Harbor Freight,
Yeah.
they make putrescent egg whites. Do you know what that is?
No, what is it?
It's literally rotten eggs that have been liquefied.
Oh.
It is the smelliest stuff. It is so bad, right? But you can put it in a Hudson sprayer and you spray it all over your lawn. Now, make sure when you're doing this, though, that you walk backwards, because a lot of people spray and they walk through it and it gets on your shoes, it gets on your pants, and you'll wash them like 3 times and they still stink, right? So make sure if you do that you go backwards. But putrescent egg whites works really well. There's a couple of companies that sell products that mix rotten egg whites with like coyote urine and things like that, so that they think there's like a predator around. There's lots of ways that you can use nasal irritants to deter them.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to go through that, you don't want to ruin your pants and make your backyard smell like rotten eggs, then you could always call us to get like, trapping organized or something like that.
True.
But yeah, that's probably the best thing that this guy could do if he wants to DIY it, if he doesn't want to just call us directly, is get some putrescent egg whites or some Have a Heart deterrents to get rid of them. And he should, though, because they carry big time fleas.
Yeah, ooh, that's a good.
Yeah.
That's a good.
Yeah.
Because my boy has 2 dogs,
Yeah.
two Siberian Huskies.
Whenever I get multiple calls at the same location for fleas,
Mm-hmm.
it always ends up being that there's a wildlife infestation somewhere around.
Yeah.
The ass get taken care of. Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
My goodness.
So anyway, yeah, have him give us a call, bro.
Yeah, for sure. No, I'm definitely gonna let him know about the Have a Heart thing, but I'm also gonna throw your name in the hat, of course, because
Yeah.
anytime I know anyone that has pest control, the first person I'd be like, call Cardon Ellis. He's your man. He's your guy.
Yeah,
Of course.
Your
Cardon.
G.
Yeah, he's your G.
Yeah, exactly. We're totally botching this. Like, there's so many people groaning in the audience right now.
It's cheesy, but it's good cheesy.
Yeah, it's all good.
Oh man, but Cardon, I know you're a busy man, and I know you got to go help take some raccoons and at least deter them out of certain various places. So I want to thank you for your time, your valuable time of telling me about and helping my friend with his raccoon problem.
All right.
How do we get a hold of you?
Oh, just give us a call. Calling is always the best.
Nice.
That or Snapchat. No, I'm just kidding. yeah, just give us. We're totally boomer, dude. It's 661-BUG-7575. So that's 661-284-7575. I like saying bug 7575.
No,
but
it's
just cool.
classic. It's
Yeah,
classic. I
dig
like it.
It's like old school, you know?
Awesome. And for more information on Cardon Ellis, or if you'd like to also email him, you can check him out on his website, and that is www.unipest.com. And if not, like Cardon said, you can call him. He's more old school, and he prefers the phone anyway, so it works out.
Yeah.
For more information on KHTS and other KHTS related media, check us out on Facebook, KHTS Radio. You can check us out on our website at hometownstation.com, or listen to us live at 98.1 FM, AM 1220, KHTS.